Today, I'm joined by Subhash Challa and Christian Stevens from SenSen Networks. SenSen are a vision and sensor analytics business. The company's platform fuses together data from networks of cameras, sensors, and other digital sources to deliver real-time insights. So those insights are used across a range of applications, including road safety, parking, theft detection, and so on. Subhash, many thanks for joining me today. You've just published your Q1 statement, and that comes off the back of really quite a transformative 2024. Can you give a summary of the progress you've made over the past year or so?
Yeah. So as we came out of COVID and all the whole wars and everything was starting, many things were impacting companies, including us. It was pretty chaotic, and in particular for SenSen, we had even bigger problems with a patent infringement lawsuit going on. SenSen, we won a very big contract with NHVR, which we had to deliver with the cash balance dwindling. So we had to do a small raise. So it was an extraordinary range of events, increasing the risk of the company. Under those circumstances, we had to come back and have a major strategic review of where we are and what we need to do. And our executives got together and we focused on first removing those patent infringement cases after the fundraise was closed. And we could successfully deliver on that. That was very important thing, dragging the company, the executive bandwidth, the money, and all the other stuff that comes with it. Second important thing was to bring in a new chairman onto the board to give a bit more balance, and also new investors and new stockbrokers looking at the stock and other ways to boost our attention to our stock as we are improving the company. And Mark brings in that kind of experience from Appen, a great company in its heyday, and it's we're very glad to have him on board. That was the second big thing that we had to achieve when we delivered on that. Then it was all about how do we, carefully look at the staff and the spread of talent within the company and cut the costs in a way that doesn't impact the growth, but at the same time, deliver the savings that the company need to have. We effectively, focused on a strategy to get our costs down to be within our annual recurrent revenue cash inflows that come in from the customers. It took a few iterations. So if you look at various announcements we made, there are a lot of one-off payouts, like, because staff have been there for a while, redundancy payments and other one-off costs. We handled all of that. We landed smoothly, and we delivered a cost structure that's sustainable with recurrent revenue at this point in time. Okay? So those are the major things that we had to do, and then deliver the cash flow positive quarters. And it was not enough to just give one quarter. We got to do second quarter, and we had to set it up to do the third quarter, and so on. So sustainable cash flow positive can't be a guidance unless we actually deliver it. So we have delivered two of them, and we believe we are well placed to keep, hitting the mark, as the new quarters arrive.
Thanks. But you've also delivered an inflection in revenues and in business momentum at the same time as reducing costs, and that's really quite rare. Can you talk through the dynamics on how you're managing to achieve that?
Yeah, I think if you look at it, the top line revenue growth comes with years of investment, doing POCs, and successfully completing it and all that. So if you go back to Canada and the momentum that's coming in Canada with Montreal, and Calgary, and then Toronto, and prior to that we had Vancouver, and so it was not an overnight success. It's been a consistent effort that has got us to this point. So the top line revenue growth that's coming in is a result of that investment that we have done. What's pleasing to us and to our investors, it should be, is that we're not only adding new cities, very big cities like Montreal, But we had Calgary, who was our customer in 2016 in an open tender win. That was a remarkable win given we had very little references in that space. We just had to win purely by innovation. Now it is after good 6-7 years of being a customer, they do an open tender, go to the world and still choose us, right? And now we can be there with for, potentially we'll be there with them for next 9 years as per the contract. Right? So when you look at it there, once you get a customer there for a lifetime, okay? And that is not just there, it's everywhere in the world. We rarely lose any customers, but they're all adding, right? So that's the reason for the top line growth, because we are getting the ARR from the old wins. Customers who are there with us are rejoining or extending their contracts, or when we are winning open tenders, or even things that are like extensions within the contracts. So that's what's delivering the growth. Being a live awareness platform, we have a lot of use cases that are outside just smart cities. So there have been revenue coming from other areas, including our fuel retail, seaports, airports, and other applications that fit the live awareness platform.
So your ability to apply your platform across a range of use cases has always been a key differentiator of the platform and the capability of your technology. Can you discuss how that is enabling you to expand your deployments within your existing customer base?
Yeah, it actually shows up in two different dimensions. If you look at smart cities itself, our live awareness platform can be on a moving car, like a council car, or it could be on a pole, or pole insertable cameras that we have invented, or it could be a handheld device with a smartphone acting like a live awareness device, right? So the platform is able to go and establish itself and gather data from different kind of platforms that allows us to provide different or solve different use cases for the same smart city customer. So the platform plays itself into providing different value propositions and benefits to the same customer base, right? But on the other extreme, we could take the same platform and solve a curb management problem in an airport, okay? Or a container lashing, unlashing activity and safety around that, and traffic flow within a seaport, okay? And Singapore's, Port Singapore Authority, the largest port in the whole world, is our customer because, they looked all around the world, and our live awareness platform to deliver that capability has been, chosen, right? So if you look at it, the breadth of applications in different verticals and within the same customer base, multiple use cases. So these are multiple revenue streams that we have been building slowly, and that is a serious competitive advantage SenSen has in the market.
So looking specifically at North America, this has been a strategic priority for the business for quite a while, and you've recently announced a number of wins in Canada. Your momentum looks particularly strong there. Can you discuss your progress in the region and also your priorities from here on?
So the momentum you're seeing in Canada is many years in the making, and we are very glad that all the work is converting to the results that we wanted. So having Montreal, but prior to Montreal was Vancouver, okay? And Vancouver, now Montreal, then, Calgary repeating itself and Toronto growing. We won a small deal in Toronto about a year ago. Now it's doubled up with another extension of the live awareness platform. And we expect it to further grow into other use cases. So yeah, we are truly excited about what's happening in North America. We expect to see some momentum, similar type of momentum in US as well. We entered US, just before COVID. So it's going through its cycle of establishment and growth. And in a year or so, we should start seeing more things coming out of US, just like what's happening in Canada.
Thank you, Subhash. And maybe turning to you now, Christian. Can you really summarize the financial progress the business has made over the past year or so? In particular, you've just registered your second consecutive quarter of positive cash flows. Yeah, if you could just talk us through the key dynamics there, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Subhash mentioned, we've really been on a cost-cutting journey, but it's been helped by the life cycle of the product, really. The product reached a stage of maturity where the investment required to keep it going and continue to develop it has become much less. And so when we started looking at our business, and we went from the top to the bottom, we looked at everything. We restructured our exec team. We looked at our shared service center in India and dramatically reduced the size of that. We closed our Perth office, so reducing floor space around the world. Corporate overheads and corporate costs significantly reduced. So we went to an extended effort to reduce all unnecessary costs and really right-size the business so that it's fit for performance and fit for growth. The maturity of the business allowed us to do that. And so now we've switched the focus to growth. And in that process of reducing those costs, we made sure we didn't impact revenue. So we didn't touch the sales organization because they need to grow. And they've been successful in doing that. And then I guess the third part of our business is really the delivery. And so being able to standardize and productionize our delivery processes has meant more efficiency in that space also. So it's really been around a wider business transformation. And as all those pieces have come together, we've also had the opportunity to improve our balance sheet. So we've got debt down to, we just announced roughly $500,000 of net debt. And as our positive cash flows come in, we're confident we can reduce that further.
So your focus now is on generating sustainable, operationally geared revenue growth and profits growth. Can you discuss on how the business is going to achieve that?
Yeah, I mean, a big thing for us is the scalability of our product. So all of our products sit on the one platform and are effectively infinitely scalable. And so what we've seen with our customers is we do have this land and expand type scenario where they see the value in our products once we're with a customer, and they continue to expand use. So the best recent use case of that was the NHVR. They started small, monitoring heavy vehicles, and then towards the end of last year placed a very large order, and then in the first quarter of this year placed another order. So we've continually seen that growth, and then as a result, they're now one of our largest customers, and we've seen similar things in Vancouver, in Brisbane, recently Sunshine Coast. So it happens all over. So that scalability of our product allows us to grow. Then the other side of it is the world's a big place. How do we cover that? We've been very successful with some of our partners. So G-Techna in Canada and Duncan Solutions in Australia, they've been great in driving sales growth for us. And we're looking to expand that partner network. So we've got a partnership agreement with Blue Systems in the US, and we're looking at a number of other partners to expand that sales network because we have the scalable product. We've got a product people like. We just need now to find the way to the end customer. So we're somewhat constrained in our own sales force, but through partners, we can scale the effectiveness of that process.
One point I wanted to add on top of what Christian has been highlighting is there is a strong recurrent revenue that comes from all the customers that we have added. It's not like one-off deal and they go away. It's a recurrent revenue, whether it's a software license fee or in different forms, based on number of units or number of tickets issued or things like that, which allow us to keep the momentum going. So we're almost at a point where our annual recurrent revenue is pretty much covering the cost base of the company. So that also gives us the confidence to grow the company with the additional revenues we have been locking in with these big customers, that the big tender wins that we have been having.
And then perhaps finally, as you expand your revenues and your margins, what do you expect the priorities to be in terms of capital allocation? I see you've paid your debt down a little bit more, but what should we expect beyond that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're always we have and always will have an R&D program. In an industry like ours, things move quickly, so we need to stay ahead of the game. So we'll continue to invest in developing the product and products on the platform. That remains unchanged, but there'll be smart investments. And then the other key area for us, as I mentioned earlier, is sales growth. So we're looking to make strategic investments in sales in order to achieve the growth that we're looking to achieve. So we're investing in people in key locations, and then we'll work with partners through, I guess, their channels to expand the reach of our product.
Christian, Subhash, thank you very much, and looking forward to following your progress over the next quarter or so.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.